and we're going to go for it. All right. So cameras on, we are hanging out. This is our once a month time to hang out, to be together, grab your evening beverage, whatever your beverage of choice is, no judgment. And really, I want to remind us about our 3 C's. Okay. So, this is about connecting, even if it's virtually face to face. That's first C is connect. Our second C is communicate. We want to talk about things that are coming up, promos, I don't know, fun things going on. And our final C is to collaborate. This is a super valuable part because so many of you are doing super neat things and you might know nothing about it. So I want to make sure that we get to talk about those things together, like as a Fierce Leader family. So let's kick it off with some recognition. Melissa, take it away on that.
Yeah, so all last year I was talking about that I was really hoping that we were going to collectively as a group hit 2,000 enrollments, and we were so close, and I never said that. So I want to say great job in 2021, and we are at 1932. So we got it. We're going okay this year for sure. And I know we have, like, February is always a pretty big month. So let's see what happens in February. I wanted to do some shout outs for enrollments. We had 6 people have enrollments this last month. That means 6 people helped change the lives of multiple people. Okay. And I'm always really delighted and excited for that. So with 1 enrollment each, we had Emily Rashid, Ellie Claros, Sonia Koval, Katie Cheetah, and Leah Rayberg. And I wanted to say the last 2 ladies, Katie and Leah, that was their first enrollment. So that's a really big shout out for them. And if there's any way you can encourage them, that would be wonderful. And then our fierce leader, Amy Baumitz, had 2 enrollments. So congratulations, Amy. Great job, everybody. And I'm excited to see what this year is going to bring.
Awesome. All right, Emily's going to share with us a little bit about the product of the month. She's not on the screen. Okay,
she's admiring her countertop.
Okay,
I'm so sorry. I was dealing with a bedtime crisis. What are we talking about?
You're talking about the product of the month.
Thank you. Things are going well over here. Product of the month, lemon eucalyptus, right? Okay, so some ideas on utilizing that. So for those of you that have Project Broadcast, it makes it really easy. I feel like what I've gotten the most feedback on of things that are the most helpful are like tips. So it can just be one thing. You know, I know there's different ways to do it. How I like to do it is like, you can just message your people, hey, product of the month is lemon eucalyptus this month. You may not have tried this one. I like to use it blank. I like to use it as a bug spray. I like to diffuse it in my bathroom. I like to add it to my kitchen cleaner, right? Something that, especially with an oil, some of the oils for product of the month are often ones that people wouldn't be like, oh, I got to get my lemon eucalyptus every month. So it's a chance for them to try something new, and obviously for you to keep your volume up. So whether it's Project Broadcast or just like a message out like, hey, thinking about you, this is an oil that you can get for free this month. Here's how I like to use it. I feel like just a simple tip is a great way to support people. So that's what I'm planning on doing to kind of utilize more of that this month. You can also ask people if they want to sample, like, do you want to try it first? You know, if you want to send out those little flat samples, go for it. But that's, I think just a tip is really nice. People really appreciate it. So those are my thoughts.
Perfect. Thank you, Em. Okay, Laura Shields is going to share a little bit about the 10% off products.
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you're with us.
That's good. Now I just have to find my notes. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So Roman chamomile, chamomile. I don't know. I think I say it different every time. But anyways, that's the 10% off. So there's a couple ways that I've used this one a lot, and we'll probably highlight this month with my people as well, whether it's Project Broadcasting messages or an event. I have like a mama's event like later in the month for February, and this oil is a big one for mamas and babies. It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife a little bit, kind of like a lavender, but a little bit more on that calming side of things. So if you have people that are new mamas have little ones, mama to be, that kind of stuff. This is a great one that you could just highlight that aspect of this oil, as they can use it for anything from teething, diaper rash, fussiness, abdominal discomfort, things like that. Could be really great for fevers, earaches, so anything along that lines. It's just a really gentle oil. And so for some parents who are just not wanting to use maybe the minty family with their little ones at the moment, this one is a great option for that. That one I usually do like a roller or diffusing. So those are some great like recipes and tips for you to offer to them. Hopefully it's not, okay, can you guys see me okay? I didn't know if I froze. Okay. The other thing with this one is it's a very calming, and it's super calming and relaxing for like stress, anxiety. It's very calming to the nervous system. So even with how we focus so much on adaptive last month, this is a great one to kind of, say you can add this on to what you've already built with your adaptive routine. This is a great one to add into a roller with adaptive, or to diffuse it with it, just to, again, get like an additional boost of calming and relaxing. Some new things that I've like learned about this one that I'll see if I can highlight or try to add in is it's really helpful with parasites, cramps and PMS, and some allergies and like bites and stings. So even thinking like spring is kind of far away, hopefully not, but it is. But I mean, it's a great thing to kind of start thinking about and preparing for summer recipes, even just dreaming a little bit. But yeah, so those are some of the different ways that you can use it, and some different ones that you can highlight for your people.
Thanks, Laura. Okay, so the final promo for the month that doTERRA rolled out was the Sweeter Than Citrus, right? Sweeter Than Citrus, Citrus Dreams. It's two different things. This line says it all. Are you ready? Just like close your eyes and take yourself away. Take a deep breath and watch worries fade away on a cloud of citrus. February. Okay, so any single 200 PV order is going to get you 4 free oils. Fun fact, I woke up and the first thing I did this morning was place our loyalty rewards order. That's like my job. Wake up, place it, $24.99, get it going. That's like a very important thing in our home. So I like get my order up and running, and I'm like, what are 5 free oils? Like, what happened? I didn't even check the team at first. So it's very fun, even for me. So your 4 free oils, all 15 ml size: grapefruit, wild orange, tangerine, and clementine. All right, so those are going to come for free. It's a limit of 4 per account. That's for enrollment orders. So be paying attention to enrollment kits that are going to qualify for that and maximize on that, like the home essentials, so on and so forth, unless they add something onto one of the other kits. But standard orders, loyalty rewards orders, that is all going to qualify. So tap into that and max out on those. I'm passing it over to Lindsay King. She's going to give us a little bit of a spotlight on the oil of the month.
Thank you. So yes, so I thought I'm open to feedback, but we are, for people who are new to this, we are highlighting an oil of the month every month for the entire year. They're all reasonably priced within the $15 to $25 range. And we're going to give tips and tricks and insight and education every day throughout the month. And last month was adaptive, and this month is Arise. It's so uplifting and enlightening, and it's taking things to the next level, which is great for February and our second month in, and to really kickstart our 2022. Today, I'm excited for tomorrow being 2/2/2/2. But we are excited for that. I'm looking for any feedback on anything that you guys would like me to make sure that I include in general on months, or specifically for Arise. But now that you kind of saw how January went, I would love feedback.
Awesome. Throw anything in the chat box or message it to Lindsay privately. A couple of things about the oil of the month and that whole process. So don't forget about our monthly call is going to be on Arise. I really was so pleased with how adaptive went. I thought it was just Honestly, I was like, it's our best. I thought it was our best call. So there's a link to sign up for Arise topic. Laura Hadamio, you are already signed up because you are doing yoga with Arise on the screen. Just kidding, but I did put you down for yoga. So you might want to check the sign up sheet because I might have pre-assigned you something. You just never know. All right. So make sure you grab that. I'll put that in the team app too. And remember that the link that I just put in there is a landing page for all of our monthly calls. So if you're kind of like, oh, what oil is coming up? What's this going to look like? Go ahead and take a peek at that. It will give you that kind of information. Okay. Okay, that's oil of the month. What about continuing education? First of all, shout out, holla. We have our whole first quarter CE sign up sheet filled up, and I could just weep with joy. It's like the most beautiful collaboration, and it's all the different voices. And we've got some people who are doing CE classes for the first time. Laura Hadamio, speaking of her in yoga, this Saturday morning, and she told me she has a surprise guest. And it's not Arrow because I told her she could have Arrow. Okay, so I'm very excited about that. And then we're going to have Sonia teaching about Symphony of the Cells, which she always steals this topic because it's my favorite. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing her. It is the best one. Okay, so Symphony of the Cells with Sonia. Then the following Saturday will be Laura Whipperman with Essential Skincare. I messed up my announcement on that. Sorry. And then I'm going to tackle nutrition and supplements on that last Saturday. Okay, so I'm putting the link for that CE landing page also in the chat box if you want to look at what's coming down the pipeline. But seriously, mark your calendars, be on one. Thank you for everyone for their collaboration on that. One final note before we start looking at some of the collaboration pieces and what everyone is up to. I spent some time watching different leaders essential oils made easy classes in January, and I got to watch Tanya Ferguson. She's a Blue Diamond, her like winterized version of an essential oils made easy, and I thought it was so good. I loved how she did it, and I would like my hope. I haven't put the date on the calendar yet, but I'm going to do an evening, at least one evening one in February. And my hope would be to you can do it on Zoom. It can be for anyone, but you can live stream it onto Facebook. And so my hope would be able to do it that way. I think my account will let me. I have to figure that out. So I'll keep you posted on that. If that's something you'd like to invite your people to or check in on. She talked about the On Guard chewables a little bit. So it wasn't just for brand new people. You can get some value for current customers as well. So I'm going to work on that. I think it'd be fun to be able to offer that this month. Okay, you guys are working on some really fun things. So let's just start off by sharing some of those different things going on. Melissa, do you want to start by talking about your chit chats?
I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I talking about? Oh yeah. So being super high in relational skills, love getting together with people. COVID has almost killed me. So I decided it would be really fun. We had started a format called drop-in, and we've done drop-ins randomly when we can, even in different states. But I wanted to do something local and encourage young moms to come on their way to pick up their kids from school. So I'm doing a little bit of a trial run in February, 2 consecutive Thursdays at a local coffee shop from 2 to 3 o'clock. I'm doing drop-in chit chat. And the idea is just come in a little bit early on your way in to pick up your kids and stop, bring your children, your littles with you, and get a beverage, support the coffee shop, right? And I'm going to have a question, and I'm going to leave it on the table for everybody to read. Everyone's going to answer on a little slip of paper, put it in a jar, and then we're going to mix them up and pull them out and try to guess the answer, who answered that way, and just kind of encourage conversation and interaction and encourage community, which is really important to me personally. And I just thought this was a great way to do something. It really doesn't have a lot to do with oils. Obviously, I might have some rollers in the middle of the table, something maybe that I've used that week, and want to just let people try them and touch them. Maybe some Arise samples, right, Lindsay? But that's my chit chat.
Awesome. Thanks, Melissa. Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Melissa Rashid. She's on with us tonight. First of all, it's her birthday. Claps, silent claps, whatever you have to do. Okay, so we're really glad that she's on with us. I asked her to share about a class that she just had. And basically, Melissa's kind of not re-entering the doTERRA world, but she's had a shift in her life, in her work, and what she's up to. And so she agreed that she would share about her class that she just had with all of us.
Can you hear me okay? Awesome. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have had a shift. So I was a pharmacy technician for like the last 12 years, and I kind of tried to like work doTERRA in wherever I could. Um, and then they were trying to force things on me, and so I was like, "Peace, I'm out." And so I'm stepping more into the role of exercising my wellness advocate muscles here. So yeah, I've always really liked the idea of doing a make and take. And so I started there thinking that, well, who wouldn't want to come to a make and take? Like, especially on the other side of the counter at the pharmacy, people are freaking out about immunity and like, what can I do? Anything I can do to protect myself, to protect my family, like whatever it takes, I will do it. And then I invite them all to a make and take class and like, no, and I guess not that. I don't know. So I had it scheduled and I had 3 people agreed to come and a whole bunch of like, well, I can't for whatever reason. And then I had a COVID exposure myself. And I mean, oils or not, I'm not going to be silly like meeting people in public place. One of my attendees was an elderly friend, and so I was like, let's reschedule it for next week. And so at one point during that week, like I had a full roster, like I had my full 10 people, I was limited space, and then twiddled down to the day, and then I had 2 people. I had 2 people come, and it was my mother-in-law and again, this elderly friend. And so they were like, "Do you just want to cancel it? Like, we don't have to do it." And I was like, "No, I said I'm going to do this. I've made the invites. I prepared all of the things. We're doing it." And so a couple of things I learned from that experience was one, it's really hard to get people to schedule things into their life that like aren't already happening. So I really like that chit chat idea. That's brilliant to like catch people on their way to something else. Um, oh, my other thing. So it was on a Saturday at a coffee shop at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'd been in this coffee shop many times, but not on a Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So a little tip that I learned for myself was to, if you're going to have a class at a place at a time, you should like visit that place at that time before you have the class, because it was very loud and I was like shouting, and I had some attention from people around us because I had to talk so loud. But yeah, I've kind of shifted focus to more of like a hostess kind of thing, more like an in-home, like, hey, invite your friends and let's have like an in-home thing. I think that I've already got 2 like people that are interested in doing that. We just haven't nailed down dates yet. But I think that moving forward, that instead of trying to get people to sign up and voluntarily come to a place that they normally wouldn't come to, that to kind of like put somebody else in charge of like, hey, invite your friends, and then like the guest list is on them. So those are my main takeaways. Go to the place at the time that you're going to have a class if you're having it somewhere else, and maybe just skip that and have in-home like hostess kind of format. That's it.
Thanks, Melissa. It's fun to have you on. Thanks for sharing transparently. It is a roller coaster ride, like 10 people, 2 people.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
COVID exposure. Oh. So yes, we all feel you on that. I asked Emily if she would share a little bit about a class that she did at a birth center. Emmy, you want to fill us in a little bit about that and how you felt about that?
Sure. So I am teaching, I have taught classes before, but at this birth center, but they just changed locations. They have their own building now. And so I taught 2 classes there, just basic like oils and littles, right? So it can apply to pregnancy, birth, and kids. But I met with the midwife who delivered both of my children. And so I like know her very well. And they use oils at the birth center. So kind of met with her first, like heard what she was looking to do, how she wanted to, like, okay, if someone enrolls, do they enroll under you? Is it me? So we kind of hashed all that out in advance. So I've had 2 classes. The first class was like four people registered, I think. And when we went downstairs, their like education room has like 40 chairs set up. And I'm like, could we maybe like remove some of these so it doesn't look like wah wah? And we did. And so 4 people registered, 1 person showed up and she was kind of like, oh, am I the only one here? But she ended up enrolling. And so a new customer there. And then I had a class. So I had my second one last week, I think. And there was like 5 people registered. And so I set up, and I'm like, maybe 2 or 3 will show up. And so I set up 5, like, all the papers and stuff in 5 different spots. And then it was like 5 people, 6 people, 7 people, 8 people. And I was like, oh my gosh, I like forgotten what it's like when people show up to a class. Like literally, I was like, oh my gosh. But it was really nice. I feel like more than anything, it's a testament to the culture that birth center has created. Because like moms brought their kids and several were pregnant and, in care at the birth center or in care in other places. But just to be like, there was like a camaraderie there, like they were all introducing themselves to each other. And so I feel like it's a testament of like the culture that she has created. But I really love working with businesses. And I think it's cool to be like, yeah, I've done this. Like I've had 2 babies. I've used oils throughout the whole process. So kind of speaking from my own experience, but trying to keep it specific in a way that is like helpful to women who are having babies. So the second one, 1 person has enrolled from that. The other 5 people have ghosted me. So it's just how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll try again. Like it's never the end, right? Like people come around in different times. But yeah, I totally know what you mean, Melissa, of being like this roller coaster of trying to figure out place and time and topic and whether it resonates with people. So that's kind of, I'm going to be doing that monthly moving forward.
Thanks, for sharing. I think we've talked about before, like find a business or somebody who like does what they do really well, who you like admire, and you're like, yes, they've got a good thing going, and be like, how can we collaborate? And I feel like that's a perfect example, and that makes sense with Alba. Sonia, can you share a little bit about some of the stuff coming up?
Sure. So I just came across on, it's like the Premier and Silver Mastermind Motivation Group. Lauren Bush had posted, she's an RN or was, but posted about these weekly Zooms that they're having regarding COVID, basically. And so it's like protocols for COVID on getting us through this time. And I think that's really like what people want to hear right now, right? Like everybody's either going through it or they're in it and they want to know how to get out of it or how to stay healthy and not get it or whatever. Like instead of like, I don't know, a bath salt recipe, like they want to like the big stuff, right? And so I shared that on Fierce Oilers. You'll get the opportunity to hear from a pharmacist, a doctor, a physical therapy, and a nurse, and how we can do healthcare differently. So they did have 2 Zooms on, I think they were protocols for the current climate. Now I had some overlapping things, so I missed them. I think Melissa had jumped on one of them, so I can pass it to her in a minute. But the one tomorrow night, it's every Wednesday night for a few more weeks. The same, I believe it's the same Zoom room each night, because when you click on that Zoom link, it shows all of them listed there. So tomorrow night is alternatives to serve patients and manage your practice. This one is geared more towards, more towards those that have left the healthcare field and looking for another way to serve their patients, and they want to do healthcare differently. After that, February 9th is the same one again. And then February 16th, they're going to redo that protocols for the current climate. So I'm hoping to jump on that one. February 23rd, thinking outside of the marketplace, and March 2nd, incorporating doTERRA into your practice. So some of these are more geared towards healthcare professionals. Maybe they either want to incorporate them into what they're doing now or want to take on a new role. But I thought some of them sounded very interesting. And so pass it on if you know of anybody that you would find, or that would find it beneficial. So I can let Melissa speak on it really quick.
Well, Melissa, thanks, Sonia. Melissa and Laura Listens had both attended and gave really good feedback. And I actually have the PowerPoint So if you want the PowerPoint to that call, I also have notes. So let me know if you'd like that and I will get those to you. Okay. But really, really good stuff, really timely.
Thanks, guys. Sonia posted, I think, like the graphics. Well, like go look in Fierce Oilers if you want to see like the layout of what's coming up and the bios on the people sharing. It is a very impressive lineup. Thank you, Sonia. Okay, Jerry, would you share a little bit about what you have coming up?
Yeah, I'm just typing in the chat box. Give me a second. There we go. Oops, I'll get it to everybody. Yeah, so what as some of you know, last year, fall of 20 and winter of 2021, I had put together marrying my passion for breathing, because I'm a Buteyko breathing educator, which is a philosophy in breathing. Anyways, and I married it with essential oils. And I did just like an overview class, it was about 45 minutes long, and really received good feedback on that. So I had kind of hinted that I might do a series, like a mini series in the future. Well, it took a year, but I rolled out one last Wednesday. And so what I'm doing is it's 3 Wednesdays. So, and the classes are like 30 to 40 minutes and they're sequential. So I really encourage people to attend all 3. Nominal fee, not a fee, but if people want to make a donation to one of my nonprofit organizations that I'm near and dear to me, it's the Chicago Night Ministry, which supports, they have buses positioned in different parts of the city that support the homeless and those living on the edge in poverty. And there's a website for that. So I am limiting this class size because I'm trying to personalize and really help people learn some exercises. So I'm limiting it to 10 people. So February is all filled, but I'm doing another series the first 3 Wednesdays of March. And I'll post that in Fierce Oilers. Amy asked me also to do a project broadcast bundle, which I have put together. So I will share that with people. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm just started my own business. I'm so excited. Because I have a couple of people that I'm getting in outside of the dental practice, the dentist that I work for. And now with the new guidelines from PayPal, and if you have an income over a certain amount, you have to declare. So I said, okay, I need to do this. So I'm really excited and looking at how that works with essential oils, and I'm just super excited. So that's what I'm doing.
Jerry, I love it. You like found your thing and you're so good at it and it's so great. So congrats to you. And yeah, thank you for mentioning, we'll talk about project in a minute. You're so project broadcast. You're so on the ball. Laura Whipperman, I asked to share, her to share. She can't be on the call with us tonight, but she said I could share on her behalf. Okay, so guys, listen up. First of all, this idea hasn't come to fruition, but you have to listen up. There's a coffee shop up here that is close to where Laura Whip lives, and like the footprint inside is not really big enough. You know, my mom and I kind of like go in and hang out. The footprint inside is not big enough. So this is what Laura Whipperman has figured out. I just think this is so good. In the drive-through, she's gonna be in the drive-through. So you like order your beverage and she's gonna be like, on the other, I was like, what are you gonna like knock on? So she's gonna be on the other side with like, here's a quick pick me up for your day to the customers who are coming through the drive. Brilliant. Brilliant, everybody, listen up. So drive-through, it's like the drive-through difference. If you live in the Twin Cities, you know what that is. Okay, that's coming. And this is the other thing, another coffee shop that she established connection with. It has more space on the inside. She's doing a super fun evening event. They're gonna stay open in the evening. It's gonna be on youth group night. So all the parents who have nowhere to go have somewhere to go. It's so good. And it's this or that. So she's going to have like 4 or 5 stations and it's like this or that. Do you want a peppermint mocha or a lavender latte or this or that? And you have a little note card, right? You fill it out and at the end, it's your raffle entry, this or that. Peppermint brownies or On Guard popcorn, right? This or that, lavender foot soak or whatever. So smart. So it's not even like exchanging money. It's just like, here's your sample. Here's your experience. Come check it out. Amazing. Mic drop for Laura.
You know what else she's doing? Instead, she's having a raffle, but the raffle prize will be a service that she can offer, like an aroma touch or a symphony of the cells. So it's another opportunity to touch somebody, literally touch somebody. But don't tell Laura Whipperman this, but I want to go to her coffee shop with her on the first like April rainy day when it's a total gully washer. Don't you love that word? And I want to run around with our umbrellas and our fun raincoats and hand them samples into their car while they're waiting in line. And I think, don't tell Laura. We're
Just
gonna
like have fun with it. I'm gonna be like got my continuous mister spraying people. Anyway, we'll be very good. It will be totally fine. Okay, see, you gotta have fun with it, guys. Have a little fun. All right. That is our collaboration portion. Beauty, a total beauty. And I want to take like 3 to 4 minutes. Hang with me here. And I mean, I could say I'm going to talk about a skill, whatever, however you want to put it. We're going to talk about sampling. I have had some like really fun sampling experiences in the past couple months, and it seems so basic, but honestly, I think this is important. Okay. And the success I've been having has been fun too. So sampling. First and foremost, let's just remind ourselves, we've had a season where we did it and then we didn't do it and now we do it again. So I get it. But why do we do it? We give people an experience with our amazing oils. Okay. And the process doesn't always just unfold perfectly. Like you need to have some skills in it so that you have a positive experience and your customer. And so you don't waste your time and money. I really don't want you wasting your time and money. So something that I want you to really think about that maybe you hadn't thought about, that I sometimes feel like the less contact I have with a customer, like however many contacts it takes, right? To get somebody from, I don't know anything about oils to I'm ready to buy them. I think like, oh, like a couple of contacts, the less, the better. But that's actually not true. I want you to reframe that, and like as many touches as you can have, the better. If you can show that potential customer that you consistently show up and that you consistently care and that you're gonna like, that's really significant. And so the truth is, the more touches that you have, the more effective you're being. Okay. So I just want you to make sure that you flip that in your mind. And then here's your 6 rules. Do you guys like rules? I know you don't, but just hang with me here. 6 rules to get you started with sampling. Number 1, the sampling we do is always free. Number 2, sample with just one health challenge. If they've got 16 things going on, just pick one. And that leads me to number 3. You need to choose a health goal that's like easy to sample well. That doesn't, it's not like cancer. It's like, I don't sleep well, or I have a headache, or I've got pain in my knee. Something that they can see quick results with. I'm not saying oils can't help with those things, but you want to make sure that they can see a difference. Number 4 is to sample only one oil at a time. And I actually asterisk, I'm going to come back to this. I might have an exception for that. 5, you have to set proper expectations. I'll teach you how to do that. And number 6, I would say give around 10 drops, enough for a few applications, right? Don't just like waft the oil at them. Give them a chance at getting to use it. In the past, we've really liked to add in a reference guide, like a little mini A to Z guide. I still think it's helpful, but like shipping, I just am trying to keep shipping really low. So I want to talk about how you can keep it super affordable. So what are the supplies I have on hand for sampling? And if there's something that I hold up that you don't know how to get, then you just got to ask. The little sachets. Okay, right? We're putting our drops in the bottom, we're sealing them with our flat iron or curling iron, and it's just in the mail with one stamp. We've decided we can put about, what's the max? 8-ish, 10 drops maybe? What have you pushed the limit to, Melissa?
I tried 12 one time and I had an eruption. So I think I'd say 6 to 8. I know you just said 10 drops, 8-ish max.
I don't think I've ever gone over. So if you really feel like you need to give them a couple applications beyond that, fill 2 sachets to 6. Okay, it's just one stamp. Okay, rather than, it's literally $4.50 if you want to send a quarter gram right now, or you can send this for a stamp. I know this is bigger than a quarter gram, but okay. So I want you to tell me in the comments the last oil you sampled, and if you have to think like 6 months ago, that's okay. But what is the last oil that you sampled? Because I wonder if we've all been adaptive. Yeah, I bet we've been sending a lot of that out. Ooh. Oh, see, this is fun. Okay. So, other supplies I have on hand. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. My mom taught me about these little mini envelopes, A2s or something they're called, because then I can just fit a little note card. I know we have our pre-printed ones, but I put, what's coming up, the little note, and then my sachet in there. And so that's like a perfect little affordable way to do it. And again, not complicated, right? Keeping it simple. So here is like the process, and I'm not going to give you I'm not doing this for an hour. This is the process of what you do. And if you want to know how to actually ask somebody if they want to sample, we'll do that, or ask me. Okay. But basically, if you're going to give somebody the sample, you have to set expectations well. You have to make sure that they understand, like in a nutshell, what I say is, hey, everyone responds differently to oils. They work differently for everyone. We're going to start with this oil. It's the most affordable oil for what you shared. I like to start there and we'll go from there. If it doesn't work, don't panic, tell me the truth and we'll go from there, right? Set that expectation and make sure that they understand that it might take a few tries to find the right oil or product for them. Okay. So let them know that. After you set expectations, you have to tell them exactly how to use it because they don't know and they will forget. So it's like, here's your lavender. I want you to put it like behind your ears and in your hands, inhale deeply for 10 seconds and, rub it on the bottoms of your feet. To be super specific, here's what you're going to experience. You're going to feel this way when you sleep or when you wake up, right? Be super specific and straightforward. I tell people, and then when in this note, it says, text me when you get this, because I have to tell them again, right? I tell them again and again and again how to use it and contact them that way, okay? And then in about 48 hours, depending on the sample, depending on who it is, I follow up. It's supposed to be a phone call. I get it. If it's going to be a text, fine. But you're going to follow up and ask, have you had an opportunity to use it yet? And chances are very good they're going to say no. And you're going to say, that's okay. Here's a reminder on how to use it. I'll check back in 2 more days, okay? And once you've gotten them to use it, there's 2 things that are going to happen. They either have had a great experience, that's what we're hoping for, or not. For example, I just sent lavender to somebody and she and her husband had the worst night of sleep they've ever had in their life. Okay, so we talked it through. Oh, I'm so glad that you shared that with me. Lavender is tricky. Some people respond well, some people don't. That's why I included an extra sachet of Serenity so we can move on, right? So you can know these things. It's going to happen, okay? I put peppermint on my headache and then it ran into my eye and I hate you, okay. You work through it with them and then you move forward. So if there's a negative experience, it's okay. Really feel it with them. We've all been there. We've all gotten into a tub with oregano. We haven't, but some of our customers have. So feel it with them and then help them move on to the next sample of choice, okay? And I do sometimes send, I know I said 1 oil at a time, but if I'm mailing it, I will send a couple of these and number them like 1, 2, 3. I want you to try this one first, this one second, this one third, okay? All right. If they have a good experience, you're gonna say, that is just the tip of the iceberg. Here's what I have coming up. You're going to love it. I have an Essential Oils Made Easy class coming up, or we can sit down and have coffee one-on-one, or virtually we can do it. And I can teach you exactly how you can use oils for exactly what you're working on. No pressure to buy. We'll have a great time. Okay. So work through it with them and get them to that point. Fair enough? Okay. Do you want to know some successful samples I've been sending out lately? Okay. New mamas sitting in the tub, bath bombs. Frankincense and lavender and Roman chamomile. Give them a little bath bomb in here. They tear it off. I tell them to put it in some breast milk and put it in the tub. It is like, they think it's like the greatest little thing. Bath bombs. Okay. How about steaming mug of death, sinus bombs? Everyone is just needing this right now. So put your lemon, oregano, peppermint, and tea tree in here and tell them to tear it off and put it in a steaming mug of water. Teach them how to do it and experience that for congestion. Okay. That has been super good. Abode, especially to current customers, they don't really know what it smells like. They don't understand. So maybe Abode and On Guard, it just depends. But Abode, have you not smelled this? Get that to them. Anxiety has been a really top issue. So I've been sending a sachet of Balance and a sachet of Adaptive and helping them try each one and see which one they like better. Lavender and Serenity for the sleep, and then the oil of the month, like Arise. So I have a project broadcast template for Arise. Laura J, I think, has already used it. We'll talk about it on Thursday night. I think Jerry used it. I have gotten such a good response. So really good response. I had Melissa test it out first before it went live to customers, and I think it's been really good. Okay. We're going to take, Jerry, do you have a question? Go ahead.
I have a question. I am so impressed with what you did with this project broadcast that sometime I'd love to learn how to do that, or if it's in the training, do you know? Because I mean, how you did it, I've gotten 4 people respond already that they have Arise and then it automatically blasted to them. How did you do that?
So great, right? Oh my gosh, it's the best. Thursday night, we'll take some time to talk about it. Thursday night, we're going to do our project broadcast call for the month. Hop on, see what we're up to. We're going to schedule out our contacts for the month. We'll come with some outlines up and running. I'll teach you how to literally change your life with technology. So How am I deciding who's getting samples? Am I using Project Broadcast for that? Yes. And what I'm going to do is stay on the call for a little bit for Q&A, because these are some very good questions. So I will come back to that because that is a good question about Arise. Okay, grab pen and paper or wherever you take notes on and write stuff down. And we're going to write down some simple February action steps together. Okay, so like 1 to 3 things. I don't want you to look at this and feel deflated. I want you to have some specific things that you can do this month. So while you're getting that, I'm going to give you some examples of what you might want to put on those for February action steps. Just some ideas. Number 1, set up a coaching call with your leader. Number 2, send out X numbers of samples. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 10. Just pick a number that works for you. Number 3, let my customers know about the oil of the month. How about number 4, pick a CE class that you really want to attend on a Saturday morning and invite some people to attend it with you. What about number 5, signing up for a slot on our Arise call? Sign up for a slot, it's on the 21st, and then maybe you want to make a step to invite 5 people to attend virtually with you. Okay, I think it's really good to be thinking about who you could be talking to, who just bought a new house that needs to be cleaned, who just had a new baby that needs to sit in the bathtub, who just went through COVID that is really struggling with congestion, who has pain in their life, whose gut is just having a hard time, right? Think about these things and who are those people so that you can care for them. Okay, I'll give you a minute. I'll be quiet. What was number 3? Number 3 was letting people know about the Oil of the Month Club. Oil of the Month, Arise. I do have a Project Broadcast link for Arise and it went to the wrong text group. So I'll fix that too. I know, sorry. I'm going to fix that. Our text group needs to be updated. If you are not in our text group and you want to be, please ask. If you are not on the team app, that's where so much of the important communication goes on. It's free. Don't worry. That would be really valuable and really helpful. Lindsay King, you had something that you wanted to say, and I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you were talking about it, tips for sampling, I learned the hard way that I need to either be more consistent about like I'm only going to sample the top 10 and try to pick from there so that it's easy for me to figure out what I could have possibly. People would say, "Oh, I love that sample. That was great. I want to order it." And I'm like, "What did I send you?" So either that or take really good notes, or I also went back to when I would write the little note to them on the back side, I just had my little shorthand of 2 drops On Guard, 1 drop lavender. So I would know what I had given them, or same thing like when you send them roller bottles or diffuser blends or bath bombs or something, so that I could actually duplicate what I gave them. If they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll buy all the stuff so I can make it." And I'm like, "I don't know what I gave you."
Yes.
So just a system so that you know how to help them when they're like, "This is great. I want to order it."
Yes, I have a sticky note on my computer, a virtual sticky note. Susan, I'm assuming you mean the new landing pages updated in there. And yes, I will make a note to work on that. Thank you for saying that. Make a note somewhere. Okay, if you're brave enough, put one of your action items in the chat box. Okay, tell us something that you're working on. Maybe somebody will be inspired by it. I want to make sure that you guys know about the Empowered Success call that's coming up. These are part of the reason why we moved our calls to the first of the month is because I did not want to conflict with what doTERRA is doing. I'm like committed to being on what they do all year long because it's so well done. So their Empowered Success calls happen once a month. This one's all about strengths with Eddie Villa, and there's more stuff too. It's February 7th at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 7 Central. So register, it's free, it's very good. Our Project Broadcast call will be this Thursday night at 8. We'll hop on and we'll work on that together. And our next leader call then, March 1st is a Tuesday, okay? If you want a coaching call, if you want to hash some of this out, if you want to set up next steps, just reach out to your oil girl. We'll totally set that up. Awesome, Laura. That's great. Okay. I'm going to stay on. Anyone can stay on. If people have questions, if we want to hash out other stuff, I'm here. If you need to hop off, and I totally get it. And we will see you soon.
Melissa, were you the one that asked about how do you know who to sample, or like where do you come up with that? Was that you?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I think Amy probably answered that, but I just find that like moving through my day, if I'm better of just jotting something down when I talk to somebody or hear something and just sending them a little note, like sympathy card when somebody dies with a little mylar sample of lavender, right? Telling them that I'm thinking about them and I'm so sorry for their loss. And I'm not doing that to sell oils, but I'm just truly, I send out a lot of those little things to people with just a little love note that I'm thinking about them. And I find that consistency is the biggest part of my business. I've been consistent now for almost 10 years. And people, you know, they know. And I think that's it. Just keep your ears open and you'll find people is how I do it.
For me, so I am using Project Broadcast for it. And so yesterday afternoon, I went to all of my personal enrollments, and it went to anyone who's a potential customer in my Project Broadcast as well. And just like, here's the oil of the month. You know, here's what it's good for. And then I gave them the action. So I'm announcing the oil of the month at the beginning of each month to all of my customers, all my potential customers, with the action of, do you have this oil already? They can text back Arise, and they can get entered into a 5-day campaign that gives them one text a day, reminding them to use it and giving them a tip for it. Or if they don't have it, they can text back sample, and they can receive a sample. And then when they get that sample, I will enter them into that campaign, and they can follow through on that process. So that's kind of what we've been. Yeah, she had Laura J had 11 people ask for a sample. So yeah, there's been a really positive response, and I send that to everyone, pretty much.
Here's another thing. Can I ask another question?
Go ahead.
I am like, have just dipped one of my toes into the world of Project Broadcast. Is there any sort of resources? I'm part of this like Project Broadcast bootcamp thing, like Facebook group. How did you learn?
So they have a new system of learning that I do think is more helpful than when I got started a while ago. But the bottom line is there's a little bit of like inserting doTERRA world into what Project Broadcast is doing. So I recorded a training, I think it was either very beginning of January or end of December, where we set it up together, doTERRAfied. So like, how do you want to put your contacts in? How do you use it? What does it look like? And I feel like once you have that in place and like combine that with them, it makes so much more sense. So that would be, I will look for that. Could you like remind me that I'm looking for that link for you? Yes, and they have the Project Broadcast School. That's right. Is that the name of it? I can't remember. It's a boot camp or school. Yeah, they have like a different training platform that they use. But truly, if you don't understand how to put your doTERRA contacts in out of your back, it's just like, forget it. So you're on your way. All right. All right, so I'm going to work on some of those things I said I would just do. We'll see most of you soon, and thank you for being on. And yeah, let's make it a great February. Okay. Bye, everyone.